When I came to Delhi in 1957-58, I had the golden opportunity of meeting Mr. Dhirubhai Ambani ji. To be frank enough, it was my first love.
Well, Reliance was founded by my father, Dhirubhai. He said that rather than relying only on family, I will find the best people and make them my family.
Papa was a man of extraordinary kindness and generosity. For him, caring for people was instinctive.
His love was infectious. When he starts loving you, there is no boundary. You have to necessarily love him. If Dhirubhai says, jump from 10th floor, I will jump because I know he is there with a net to catch me.
We started with one man and just his phenomenal vision that I can do it.
He brought the culture of investment in India, and which has awakened the knowledge and the thinking of every businessman in the country.
The most important thing for us at Reliance is really values. When you have a noble purpose, it binds everybody together. And our purpose is to make India great.
So when I was a child, the dream was to see the world. And the bigger dream was to come back to the country and do something and make a difference. I had been working in the oilfield services business for almost 7 to 8 years. At that time, Reliance struck one of the largest discoveries, gas discoveries in the world. In the deep waters off the coast of Andhra Pradesh. Everyone knew about Reliance even prior to that. We have heard about Reliance's growth and its journey from polyester in the hydrocarbon business. In my view, it was an opportunity to come back to a company that was making a difference in the lives of the nation.
I joined Jio in 2018, and before that, I was working in Apple in US. We were always thinking what is happening in India, and I was looking to come back. And I approached Mohsen, who's been my mentor all along, and he said that there are huge opportunities in India, especially what Reliance and Jio are building.
2016, we created global history by actually making India the #1 data country in actually 1 year.
So India's internet story will be always known as Jio se pehle and Jio ke baad. And how it acted as a catalyst for nation building is a stuff of dreams.
We always say it in Reliance that look, if work is a burden, don't do it. Work must be fun. In Gujarati we say कि मजा आवी जोईए.
जब मैंने फर्स्ट टाइम ट्रैक में उतरा, मतलब मेरे को काफ़ी हैप्पीनेस दिया था, तो कभी मैं छोड़ा ही नहीं है. मेरा लाइफ में तो फनी थिंग है कि ट्रैक में हर्डल्स नहीं है, लाइफ में भी हर्डल्स आया था. घर से मेरे को सपोर्ट नहीं मिला क्योंकि पेरेंट्स का स्पोर्ट्स क्या होता है पता ही नहीं है. पापा सिक्योरिटी गार्ड का वर्क करते हैं और मम्मा क्लीन्स काम करता है. तो जेम्स कोच ने एक कंपटीशन में मेरे को देखा था.
I was instantly impressed with her. I realized that this girl could be the future and a sort of flag bearer, if you like, for female athletics in India.
So he told me, मेरे को 2 years दे दो, तो मैं जो देखा आपके अंदर, मैं पूरा दुनिया को दिखाऊंगी, तू क्या कैपेबल हो सकते है. रिलायंस फाउंडेशन एक गेम चेंजर है क्योंकि जब मेरे पास कुछ नहीं था तो कोई मेरे को हाथ दिया. रिलायंस फाउंडेशन आपका एक गुड नॉलेजेड कोच लेके आता है, उसके साथ स्ट्रेंथ एंड कंडीशनिंग कोच, न्यूट्रिशनिस्ट, साइकोलॉजिस्ट. इट्स नॉट अबाउट द नेशनल, इट्स ऑलवेज अबाउट द बिगर स्टेज. अभी मेरे अंदर एक ही टारगेट है कि मेरे को ओलंपिक मेडल जीतना है 100%.
Mukesh and I started Reliance Foundation in 2010. It was just formalizing what has been our way of life at Reliance for years. Again, I have a story. I'm a storyteller. For every Diwali over the years, I've been sending these candles to everyone. They're made by one Dr. Bhavesh Bhatia. And at a young age, he lost his eyesight and his job. And to add to that, he lost his only support, his mother. Struck by this grief and loss, he began making candles.
14-15 साल की उम्र में कुछ फैंसी कैंडल्स छूने को मौका मिला था. तब लगता था यही मेरे लिए ठीक है. मेरा दिमाग उसी ओर चलता कि कुछ ऐसा करूं कि जो समाज मुझे हर बार एक कोने में बिठा देता है, एक साइड पे बिठा देता है, उसके सामने मैं अपने आप को प्रूव कर सकूं. जब धीरूभाई अंबानी इंटरनेशनल स्कूल में हमारा सनराइज कैंडल का स्टॉल वहां पे लगाया गया, सबसे बड़ा जो टर्निंग पॉइंट आया वो था कि मान्यवर नीताजी अंबानी मैम और मान्यवर मुकेश अंबानी सर दोनों उस स्टॉल पे उन्होंने विजिट की और आज करीब 92 कंट्रीज तक सनराइज कैंडल के प्रोडक्ट पहुंच पाए हैं कि हम तो कैंडल बना लेते हैं, लेकिन उसमें खरे अर्थ में उजाला देने का काम रिलायंस फाउंडेशन ने किया हुआ है.
Today, it's a multi-million-dollar company that empowers more than 10,000 visually impaired men and women, giving them not just work but independence and dignity. So I always say Reliance is about self-reliance, and this story proves that.
माझं नाव कार्तिक कृष्ण खेडेकर आहे. माझं वय 12 वर्ष आहे आणि मी अभ्यास करतो, सायकलिंग करतो, मोबाईल बघतो आणि खेळतो.
मेरा बेटे का बर्थ हुआ था 22/5/2014 को. 19 दिन के बाद ऐसा महसूस हुआ कि वो सांस नहीं ले पा रहा था, उसका बदन ब्लू हो रहा था, आंखें चिपक गई थी. जो मेरे लोकल के कार्डियोलॉजिस्ट है उन्होंने सब बताया कि ये बहुत रेयर केस है, इसके चैम्बर्स नहीं है, तो इसको कितना भी खर्चा करेगा तो इसका कुछ नहीं हो पाएगा.
असे काही डिसीजचं कधी ऐकलंच नव्हतं ना. आणि आपल्याकडे कसं असं समज आहे की खूप ब्लेम करते की हिला असं कसं.
पहला ही बेबी था मेरा, मैंने हार नहीं मानी, मैं इसको खोना नहीं चाहता था. तो फिर मैंने क्या किया, मेरे लोकल के डॉक्टर हैं यहाँ के, उनके रेफरेंस से एचएन रिलायंस फाउंडेशन जो है वहाँ भेजा.
Life is precious. Life is all the more precious for those who do not have resources to help themselves. And this element has been recognized by visionaries like Neeta Madam. I am Dr. Shiva Prakash. I head the Department of Pediatric Cardiac Sciences at Reliance Foundation Hospital in Mumbai.
जब इतना बड़ा हॉस्पिटल देखा तो मेरे मन में थोड़ा ख्याल भी आया कि मैं इसको अफोर्ड कर पाऊंगा नहीं पाऊंगा. जैसे ही अंदर गया, मुझे डॉक्टर शिवा प्रकाश सर जो है उन्होंने बोला एक क्रिटिकल है, लेकिन आपको घबराने की कोई ज़रूरत नहीं है, बस आप हौसला रखो, आप जितना कर पाते हो आप कीजिए, उसके बाद में रिलायन्स फाउंडेशन सब कुछ संभाल लेगा.
आमचं फक्त एकच होतं की सर याचं होऊ शकते का काही. तेव्हा सर म्हणले होते डॉक्टर शिवप्रकाश सर, हे एकदम धोनीसारखं पडेल म्हणे, याची मी गॅरंटी घेतो म्हणे.
He went through a series of surgeries in which we corrected from the neonatal time to the school going age. We fixed his entire circulation and now he walks around like a normal child.
मम्मी पापा बोलता हो कि टेंशन नहीं लेने का, सब कुछ ठीक हो जाता है।
ऐसे आपको क्यों लगता है सब कुछ ठीक हो जाएगा?
भगवान हमारे साथ है ना, ऐसे।
परवाह से ही परिवार बनता है, परवाह से ही।
Countless number of children have been benefited by this foundation. They are the largely unsung heroes who make a huge difference for these children in the periphery.
The purpose of life itself is to have love and care in a family and not only think about yourself. That is why, for me, Reliance is our Parivar. Lots of people think that like with 6 lakh people it's a slogan. But for Neeta and me, and the entire Reliance leadership, right, this is really a sankalp.
मेरा नाम ब्रिजेश पांडे है। मैं रिलायंस में प्रेजेंटली वर्किंग एज अ सीनियर मैनेजर फाइनेंस एंड अकाउंट्स। अब मेरे पापा जब मतलब ट्रेन में जा रहे थे गांव, तो मेरे भाई भी साथ में थे। अपर सीट पे चला गया था भाई वहाँ पे, और उसके बाद पापा को लगा कि वहाँ पे कोई है नहीं, और पापा वो डब्बे से उतर गए उसी प्लेटफॉर्म पे। एंड ही इज़ एक्चुअली अ पेशेंट ऑफ अल्जाइमर। हमारे पास कोई क्लू नहीं था कि वेयर वी शुड स्टार्ट सर्चिंग। फोन्स भी उन्होंने ट्रेन में ही छोड़ दिया था और वो उतर गए थे।
Hello, good morning. This is Rafaz. How may I help you?
Good afternoon, Aisha from Reliance.
So when I joined, there was an induction program and they told me about refers.
Can you give me your employee ID, please?
How it can give them the support to their employees, especially in that emergency situations.
Jain team. Refers is Reliance Employees Families Emergency Response Services. Reliance employees or their families in any kind of emergency. Refers is there to help them 24/7, 365 days. So when Brijesh called, we got in touch with the nearest point of contact. These 5,500 security personnel are our real foot soldiers.
मेरा नाम बसंत कुमार है। मैं एरिया सीसीटीवी ऑडिटर के प्रोफाइल पे काम कर रहा हूँ। मैं और ब्रिजेश पांडे जी के जो छोटे भाई और उनके परिवार वालों ने पुलिस की मदद से सीसीटीवी फुटेज देखी, गाड़ी के आने का, स्टॉप का, सारी फुटेजेस हमने देखा, कुछ नहीं पता चला। अच्छा, ये पांडे जी मैं ये बोल रहा था कि यहाँ तो फिर उसके बाद हमारे दिमाग में एक आइडिया आया कि ये काम करते इसको फेसबुक पे पोस्ट कर देते हैं, और वहीं से एक आशा की किरण निकली। उसमें एक कमेंट आता है कि इस आदमी को आरा के 5-6 किलोमीटर के दायरा में एक गांव है, वहाँ पे देखा गया है।
That was the first information about the missing father in last 3 days.
फिर तुरंत हम लोगों ने पुलिस को सूचना दिया। अंततः उनके पिताजी गुम होने के 5वें दिन मिल गए।
जब वो कॉल आया था कि पापा मिल गए करके, तो एक अलग ही रिलैक्सेशन आया था हमारे फेस के ऊपर। 5 दिन का जो टोटल स्ट्रेस था वो पूरा ख़त्म हो गया।
तभी हमको भी रेफर्स का इम्पोर्टेंस समझ में आया, ये किस तरह से काम करती है और ये कितना हमारे लिए फ्रूटफुल है।
We Care is not just a philosophy or stuff that we write on walls with posters. It's a way of life. There may be issues that befall every human being. It could be from health, it could be an accident, it could be something like COVID, which happened to all of us. Situations like those call for extraordinary measures. When it all started up, it was sudden, unexpected. It was a small little virus that nobody could see, but it brought the country down to its virtual knees. We're not a small company. We're about 12 lakh people at that time. And that group of people were being looked upon as people who were supporting the organization. Now it is the organization's turn to kind of take care of them. There were crystal clear directions saying, whatever it takes, make sure everybody gets well and goes back to their loved ones. So what Reliance did at that time was first figure out places for people to stay. Mumbai, Delhi, Bangalore, Hyderabad, Bastar, West Bengal, you name it. About 15,500 rooms that I had booked across the country where people were going and staying. We had our doctors implanted inside those hotels. And I can proudly say there was not a single individual in Reliance and the Reliance family who went without medication. You know, when everybody was falling sick during the Delta 2 phase, oxygen cylinders were really, really difficult to get. One of the byproducts of our refining process in Jamnagar is oxygen. And Jamnagar then started supplying oxygen cylinders to the rest of the country. About 11% of India's oxygen needs were supplied from that location.
When I came over here as an expat, I didn't really know how I'd be treated. I thought maybe a little bit, arm's length type of thing. But more than that, I saw Reliance really a little bit different than other companies because much more personal connection during COVID. And we had lots of people, and I can think of at least one person on my team who, if Reliance hadn't supported us, would probably not be alive today. That type of environment, that Reliance will go to any measure necessary when it comes to you and your family, that's, I think, very special, and that's something I haven't seen in any other companies I've worked for.
I can personally say that I wouldn't be alive today if it weren't for MDA and his family. I knew that I had got hit badly. I was finding it difficult to breathe, and my left lung was getting impacted very badly. So MDA called me and he said, I'm sending my plane, get into it and fly. Taking such a step to send me a plane and take care of everything that I could possibly need was phenomenal. So the first day that I was extubated, I spoke to the chairman. I said, thank you for everything, and he started to cry. So I said, why are you crying? So he said, because I thought I'd lost you.
For me, when we think about Reliance, we are united by the purpose of Reliance, right? We don't need an invitation because we are family, we just show up.
So what does family mean to each of you?
You start?
You want me to start?
Yeah.
I think for me, family is your rock that holds you steady through uncertain times.
We've always thought that Reliance is our family, not our extended family, but our true family that unites us.
So I think since my childhood, first from my grandfather and then from my mother, it has been instilled in me, my elder brother, my elder sister, that we have to care about others more than yourself. Actually making someone else happy, may it be an animal, human, and to that extent a plant, should give you happiness. My way of giving back was starting Vantara with the support of my family. God's creatures have to be protected.
In 2023, Monimala was brought to Vantara, particularly because there was an urgent need to take care of all her health needs. Karu's role in here, he recognized that she needs help.
मतलब वो अच्छे से खा नहीं पा रही थी, सो नहीं पा रही थी, उसके अंदर बहुत सारे ऐसे बीमारियां थी।
हमने ब्लड रिपोर्ट्स के साथ उसका अल्ट्रासाउंड किया, जिसमें हमने देखा कि एक बड़ा सा स्टोन था उसके यूरिनरी ब्लैडर में, अंदर जख्म हो रहे थे। तो हम लोगों ने बहुत रिसर्च किया, मशीन देखी, अलग अलग कंपनीज़ को कांटेक्ट किया जो ह्यूमन लिथोट्रिप्सी मशीन, क्योंकि एलिफेंट के लिए तो कोई बनाता नहीं है। तो हमने आनंद सर को अप्रोच किया, उन्होंने बताया कि नो प्रॉब्लम, आप ये मशीन खरीद लो, इसकी जान बचना ज़रूरी है।
And Monimala had Karu nearby her. He waited for Monimala to go through those procedures and recover before he could get his own kidney problems sorted out.
और आज वो मोनीमोला परफेक्ट ठीक तरीके से अच्छे से घूमती है, और मैं सुबह में आता हूँ, सबसे पहले उसको एक लड्डू देता हूँ, उसको अच्छे से बिस्वारता हूँ। बाल बच्चे की किस तरह से देख रेख करनी चाहिए, उसी प्रकार से मैं उसकी देख रेख करता हूँ। जैसे मेरे शरीर के अंदर तो स्टोन था, तो मेरे को पता है कि दर्द क्या होता है, तो उसी हिसाब से मैं अपना दर्द लेके उसके दर्द के हिसाब से मैंने बहुत सेवा किया और अभी तक करते ही आ रहा हूँ।
A lot of NGOs were doing amazing work for domestic animals in cities, but for wildlife there are very few NGOs. So this is what Vantara is. It stands for rescuing, it stands for conserving, and it stands for preservation.
Punjab is fighting a battle of its own. The state was hit by one of the worst floods in a century. Farmers suffered severe damages. Now, according to the government estimate, crops over 3 lakh acres of land was completely destroyed. Several hundred villages were inundated and cattle washed away.
Punjab floods in terms of scale and magnitude was quite bad. I think the last big floods which they can think of was in 1987. And people say that this flood was even of a more severe magnitude. Reliance consciously took this decision that we are going to respond there. Now, since livestock protection was a major need here, definitely the biggest pool of expertise you will find in Vantara. So from Vantara, we had a team of 50 paravets and doctors who were quickly deployed there, and they started door-to-door veterinary support services. From Reliance Foundation, we were providing silage and fodder support to the community. I've worked for many years in the sector, but I would say that when it comes to livestock protection, this was a program which was most comprehensive that I have ever seen, and that was possible because of the strength which we could draw from Reliance ecosystem. In any disaster response, the whole of Reliance comes as a family together to help and support people who are affected. That gives us a strength to do ambitious thing also, just like that.
So I think the world that we are in, the world that our children will inherit, is a completely different world than what we've seen previously, right? I think that you have to hold on to what makes us human. At the core of that is caring for others. And I think in being kind, you bring out the best in others and hopefully the best in the world.
I was actually 5 months pregnant when I joined Tira and Reliance. How Isha personally enabled and ensured that we have a working environment that really can allow women to have children while excelling at work. We actually have an over 60% representation of women in the company.
And it's not only having a high number of female team members, but a high number of female leadership.
I think it's not just about women, but I think it's about diversity in general, right? Like, I don't think it's as much about whether it is, do we have equal women as we have equal men? It's about, are we an inclusive workspace? As a employer, you want to be there to be able to support every single person wherever they are so that they can give the best to their purpose.
डाउन सिंड्रोम या इंटेलेक्चुअल एंड डेवलपमेंटल डिसेबिलिटी के साथ काफ़ी स्टिग्मा होता है, समाज में भी और फैमिलीज़ में भी। शुरू में तो बहुत ज़्यादा सदमा होता है और धीरे धीरे हमको ये समझ में आया कि नहीं, काफ़ी सारी संभावनाएं हैं अगर हम इनकी एबिलिटीज़ के ऊपर फोकस करें।
वो जब छोटी थी तभी हमने आगे की सोची थी कि आगे क्या करना है सेल्फ रिलायंट करने के लिए। मैंने अपना खुद का बुटीक स्टार्ट किया घर में और शी ट्राइड टू हेल्प मी ऑल्सो। उसमें पैकेट में वो ड्रेस डाल दिया, फोल्ड करने की कोशिश करती थी, छोटी छोटी चीज़ें। आई थिंक तब से ही उसको वो प्रेरणा मिली है कि हाँ, इवन आई विल ऑल्सो डू जॉब। उसके बाद फिर वो अपॉर्चुनिटी आई एक स्टोर में काम करने की। धीरे धीरे फिर उसका कॉन्फिडेंस भी बढ़ते गया।
Hello, I am Disha Joshi from New Delhi. I work in the fashion department at Reliance Parvah. I enjoy my job very much.
Because of her personality, she is able to form relationships with all her colleagues, customers who accepted her readily. Because of her work, she was being respected. She enjoyed those roles. कई बार वो अगर बहुत ज़्यादा भीड़ है तो she finds that she is at the back, but someone will come and take her in front. So inclusion ये नेचुरल वे में हुआ और कई बार तो ये हुआ कि कस्टमर्स उसके फैंस हैं
तो वो फ़ोन करके हमको बताता है कि मुझे एक ही चीज़ खरीदनी थी, बट देवांशी इज सच ए गुड सेल्स पर्सन, आई एंडेड अप बाइंग 4 things.
Like she enjoys her job very much. She feels that proud वो जैकेट से उसको बड़ा अच्छा लगता है.
We've made a great effort to make sure that we have space that is open for everyone and that everyone in the Reliance family feels included.
It means so much for us, for our children to be being accepted and valued. Reliance is giving her the opportunity to work with pride and dignity. That's what we want.
My view on all of this became a little bit more nuanced when I became a mother myself. You realize that people at different stages of life require different things. As time goes, I think that for our children, for the future generations, curiosity is going to be extremely important. I think resilience, super important. Confidence, really important. And that is really, I think, what, we're trying to shape our children forward. Trying to really have them find what they're passionate about, to really be able to say that you need to walk the undiscovered path.
It is with great pride that we can say that we are India's #1 school for robotics and STEM.
I think our school has helped us a lot when it comes to providing us all the tools we need to build a successful robot.
And I think the greatest thing that our school's leadership has done to support us is that they never said no. If we said, ma'am, we think we need this 3D printer to help us with our robot, it was there within a week.
The robotics program in our school, it teaches us not only technical skills but also life skills.
Winning the first tech challenge was monumental more than personally because this was the first time Indian team has ever won in the last 30 years.
Every year, as I see, more and more women have been participating in this competition, which is shaping the future for women in STEM.
At the World Championship in Houston, I had the privilege of meeting the Dean of Yale, and he told me something really cool. At first, you're not just building robots, you're building relationships that will last a lifetime.
In the next 5 to 10 years, the energy needs of the world is going to increase. That we don't want to harm the environment, but at the same time, also increase efficiency in the world, so the world becomes a greener and a better place.
The next pace of growth for Indians and Indian economy is going to come from fulfilling our energy requirements. We are not a gas-rich country. We import most of our oil requirements. But at the same time, God has vested us with significant natural resources. And effectively, it is the responsibility and ownership of all of us, Indians, to be able to tap into those natural resources and generate energy and electricity for our own requirements.
This helps in what is called Atmanirbhar Bharat. Whenever we do a project, we always ensure that it is aligned to India's interests. So essentially, what is good for India, it becomes good for Reliance.
New energy in India is seeing a tremendous growth. Normally, many companies, they import all the materials going into the solar panel. Here in Jamnagar, we have the whole value chain. We're starting with the polysilicon, which becomes an ingot and then becomes a wafer, which then becomes a solar cell, and then eventually the solar panel.
Once our ecosystem is ready, we will be probably the largest integrated new energy company in the world. There's nobody like us. And every day morning when I get up, it's effectively that ambition of our chairman and of our company that gets me going.
If India has to be among the top countries in the world, Reliance has to continue to be among the top companies in the world. The employment generator in this country is going to be retail. And if you want to create employment across the length and breadth of India and continue to accelerate every year, you have to be in the retail business. And today, we are India's largest retailer. It has been a long drive, but our perseverance and resilience has helped. we did not care so much for profits as we cared for true employment and true customer value.
For us, customer is at the heart of our thinking in whatever we do at Reliance Retail. India shops as a family. For these customers of ours, we have 20,000 stores across India. We are present in 7,000 cities. We also have online channels like Ajio, and we have Tira, which specializes in beauty. Our ability to bring new products which are previously not available to people in the small towns, what we call the aspirational products, is very unique. We can give the customer the ability to first look at the product, appreciate the product, and then buy. This is what pure online cannot offer. An omni-channel player like us can really offer. That makes us very uniquely positioned in terms of serving every type of customer.
Most of the MNC who supply all these FMCG products have concentrated either on the middle class or the upper classes, whereby a big strata of population for whom the global quality products are beyond means have been actually ignored. Camper was one brand which was loved by people and which was very much evident in its 90s. But somewhere after the liberalization, it lost its face. The idea was, could we revive a brand which is an old heritage brand, which is loved by Indians, with a vision to supply global quality products at affordable prices across the population.
In our aspirations in terms of going forward is also a deep belief that we can innovate in India, for India, and for the world, and solve some of the hardest problems that have not yet been solved.
And one of our founding principles that we are embodying at Reliance, led by our father, is being that transformation has to happen at all levels of society. The first thing that we have to always think about when we are moving ahead as a society is how does it affect the 1.4 billion people of India. As we democratize information through geo and access to information mainly, I think the next step is with the new age technologies like generative artificial intelligence is now democratizing intelligence amongst 1.4 billion people.
Like a person who is in Bhagalpur, able to really use AI tutor to teach himself, or a farmer who is able to really understand what his food productivity would be. He is able to think more, he is able to do more, he is able to earn more. And that is, I think, the ultimate goal for us.
How Indians actually converse with technology is more voice first rather than text. India is also home to so many different languages, and I think that is a massive opportunity for India, which truly only an Indian company can solve, and Reliance Intelligence will be the foundation on top of which they will build.
There are many Indias in India, and it cuts across different income classes, different tastes.
Media was one sector where always foreign companies' names came up. There was no reason why an Indian company should not be leading the charts on media.
Two biggest streaming platforms coming together, a bouquet of channels across television coming together to form a media powerhouse like this would be truly industry defining. We have the chairman sitting and mapping out what is basically such a detailed plan.
He said, Bharat, just make sure most of the Indian population gets to watch Jio Hotstar. The business is always important, but I want consumers to experience our innovation.
I remember Mukesh Bhai and Manoj Bhai laying out their vision for the media business. They gave me examples of how they disrupted telecom business and how can I imbibe some of these core values in the business that I was setting up. I remember thinking, do I have to pay to work here? Because this kind of mentorship is something that money cannot buy. So I actually set up Jio Studios. It was a startup within the Reliance ecosystem. What we want to do is claim back the narrative of India, especially young India. What better medium than stories to make this happen? From a Lapata Ladies, which has so much heart and went all the way to Oscars, to a Dhurandhar, which is currently the talk of the town and is smashing all box office records and setting new benchmarks.
अगर तुम लोगों के पटाखे खत्म हो गए तो
मैं धमाका शुरू करूं।
Ladies and gentlemen, you are not ready for this.
Dhurandhar was not an easy film to mount. It was not an easy film to execute. There were several challenges. डंके की चोट पे जाके बैक करना conviction के साथ कि अगर ये सही पड़ गया then we will be breaking new ground.
As we began the film, we knew that it was going to far exceed the original budget, and we decided to commit to the capital of 2 parts in one go without waiting for the success of one. But look at what it's done and how the audiences have seen that sincerity and made it their own.
I have to say I was given all the love, all the support and all the encouragement, even at a time when my movies were not doing well. Career है, ups and downs होते रहते हैं. But to have received that kind of support meant a lot to me. It's nothing short of a blessing, an honor and a privilege to be associated with the Ambani family. We all know what position they occupy, and with that position comes great responsibility. And their contribution in that regard is incomparable, be it sports, entertainment, arts and culture, education, philanthropy, the way they highlight our culture on a global stage, especially Neeta Bhabhi, with genuine pride, genuine passion. It's India's time to shine on the global stage.
The vision of Mrs. Ambani and the vision of our centre is bringing the best of the world to India and the best of India to the world. Today we have audiences writing to us about what it means to them, the fact that they don't need to travel anywhere outside of the country to actually experience world-class musicals like Phantom of the Opera, Matilda, Mamma Mia, Mughal-e-Azam, The Sound of Music. We've got them all. Besides that, our tickets are affordable. We are ensuring that families can come and enjoy the experience of this space. The centre here today houses artisans who are from the Reliance Foundation, Swadesh, which is taking forward Mrs. Ambani's vision of taking the dying arts and presenting it to the world.
Swadesh is born out of love, respect, and reverence for India's heritage and artistic legacy. It is so important that we shine the limelight on these artisans who make India so proud.
बचपन से सपना था कि मुंबई इंडियंस के लिए खेलने का और कभी सोचा नहीं कि जब पहली बार आईपीएल में सेलेक्ट होऊंगा और मुंबई इंडियंस में सेलेक्ट होऊंगा कि एम आई ऑन द फील्ड और ऑफ द फील्ड भी फैमिली है। आकाश भाई टीम के ओनर है, मतलब सबके साथ इतना लाइवली फ्रेंडली रहता है। ही इज़ लाइक ए बिग ब्रदर टू एवरीवन। वो हर एक चीज़ फॉलो करते हैं, जब भी अच्छा करते हो मेरे को कंग्रेचुलेट करते हैं कि बहुत अच्छा खेला है। मैच के बाद अगर हार जाता है ना तो नीता मैम आते हैं, आकाश भाई आते हैं, हम लोगों को मोटिवेट करते हैं बहुत। मैंने 2-3 बार इंजर्ड हुआ है, नीता मैम, आकाश भाई दे आर इन टच विद द फैमिली, डैड मॉम के साथ कैसा है क्या है, मतलब वो बहुत कॉन्फिडेंस मिलता है कि हम लोगों को ऐसा स्ट्रॉन्ग फील होता है कि अरे हमारे पीछे है। MI is a big legacy. I have started in MI and I want to finish my career in MI.
बड़ा सोचो, बट पाँव हमेशा जमीन पे रखो. Have humility in your heart in everything you do. As Reliance gets into its 50 years, it's really a generational shift. Akash, Isha and Anant are only representatives of the young leaders.
Absolutely.
And they will take our values, they will build an India of our dreams.
कुछ सपने लगते हैं, कुछ अरमान लगते हैं, कोशिशें लगती हैं, विश्वास लगता है। परवाह की पहले खुद से शुरुआत होती है, एक सच्ची ज्योति से बड़ी रोशनी निकलती है, जब रिश्ते खिलते हैं तब रास्ते खुलते हैं, दिए कामयाबी के हर घर में जलते हैं, परवाह से ही परिवार बनता है, 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 परवाह से ही परिवार बनता है। खुशियों में हाथ बढ़ाना, मुश्किल में गले लगाना, बिना शर्तों वाले रिश्ते हमें लेकर बढ़ते जाना, जब भावना हो सच्ची सी तभी संसार बनता है।
To me, family is everything. I feel privileged that 4 generations of our family live together. My mother-in-law Kokila Ben, my mother Purnima Ben, Mukesh and me, our children, and of course, now our 4 precious grandchildren.
परवाह है
तो परिवार है,
परवाह है तो परिवार है,
परवाह है
तो परिवार है,
परवाह है तो
परिवार है,
परवाह है तो परिवार है,
परवाह है तो परिवार है,
परवाह है तो परिवार है,
परवाह है
तो परिवार है।
That's it, done. चलो।
I am now 88 going to complete now. I'll be 89 in December. When I go away from this world, Dhirubhai is waiting there. We will start another Reliance Industries there and start working there and building up another empire.